All right, today we are joined by Mark Passaro, who has done a video. By the way, I should say his YouTube channel is called Themightymoze, and he's gone into the Southbury Training Center on his dirt bike or whatever he took in there, and he's filmed this abandoned area. And he's on the show with us today. Good morning, Mark. Thanks for coming in.
Mark.
Good morning. You're very welcome.
Thanks for coming in.
All right, first off, why did you do this? Drive into this abandoned, what appears to be an abandoned community?
I'm an inquisitive person, and I wander around a lot, especially in places that have no trespassing signs in front of them. There's not a lot of activity. That's how I found it.
So that's how you found it. Well, that gets to me to one of our points, and we put this up, and Suzy did a story on it, and it hit our website, it hit our Facebook pages, and a lot of people commenting on this, and a lot of people saying stuff like, here's a guy who broke in, who was trespassing. The man broke in to an area, and he even broke into one of the houses. Now, this whole area, is it definitely totally abandoned?
As far as I can see, the homes themselves are abandoned. The hospital, of course, is still active. But that area where the homes are is completely abandoned. The homes aren't being used anymore, and that's as far as I could tell.
Because we had one person say, people do live here. This man broke into one of the houses.
No, that's
there
false.
were no people.
No.
I
never
saw the
break
video.
into any structures. I never did. I was admittedly trespassing, I'm sure. I didn't actually see any trespassing signs. I think I found the place coming through the woods, and then I had brought my scooter in through another way. But I didn't see any no trespassing signs, so I went in and...
If it wasn't for his video, though, nobody would know about this. And we're talking nearly 30 homes here that look like they could be rehabbed pretty easily and that are just sitting, laying waste. There are more buildings that are absolutely seemingly abandoned. It's approximately 1,600 acres of state land that seems to be going to waste.
It's pretty sad. I don't know what they plan to do with the land or with the homes, but the homes are going to need extensive renovation. They're not in move-in condition by any means.
So you have to see this video because the streets are beautiful. There is underground sewer. There's a water system. They may have to do some upgrading to this if anybody was going to live there.
Sure.
But years ago, there was a task force, I think by the federal government, came out and said there were no major deficiencies existing in the community. In other words, that the area could be repurposed. Now, in 2014, they discussed the formation of an authority to
look into
repurposing it. Now, we're saying 2017, it was like January or February. Nothing happened, and they're saying it's going to take time to repurpose this land, and likely till 2019, there will be no answers. I just think that's unacceptable because all this land is off the tax rolls.
It's definitely land that could be used, and possibly in the future, a developer could be brought in. I mean, the state owns it. They still maintain it, though. They cut the grass, right?
Oh, yeah. They sure do. The trees, the grass, there's a cemetery right adjacent to it. It's all maintained just like it always was.
It's kind of like, and I watched the video, and it's kind of really eerie. It's like a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, it absolutely is. When I saw all these homes, I actually sat there for a moment and waited to see if there was any activity, anybody walking, anybody going in and out of there.
There was nothing. So, and you were just there on a random day. It was a random sunny day.
Yeah. Like I had told you earlier, I'd been there a few years before when it was occupied, and you were able to drive through there. And a couple of years later, went through and discovered it again on my own. I could tell. I always wanted to go see what's beyond the bend, what's around the next corner. That's just how I am, and that's what brought you the video.
So systematically, they moved people out of the neighborhood. I want to say, like in the last year, the few people that remained had moved out. So now we know nobody lives there. Another part of the Southbury Training School does treat patients and residents, but it's a small amount, and it's fewer and fewer because they're not accepting new residents or patients. So some kind of decision has to be reached, and we're looking at, like I said, January 2019, when the governor's out, and until anything is done.
By then it'll be
or
too
spoken
late for
about.
those buildings. They'll just have to tear it down and put up condos. What do you say?
And then somebody's going to make a fortune on it. I just think that people should know about this.
All right. So, Mark, thanks for coming in today. So you were trespassing.
Yes, I was trespassing. It's a Class B misdemeanor. Yeah.
But I think you've opened up a can of worms here with this place.
But I think you needed to do it to tell us about it.
Yeah, people are fascinated with it. And thank you so much for coming by and sharing
Thank you,
your story.
Mark.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for having me. This is a
Of
wonderful
course.
opportunity.